This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. I would like very much to conversationally recite the second half of the great meditation classic, The Spaciousness of Vajrasattva, composed by the great the great Buddhist reformer Vajra. We begin with the 29th passage. One moment, if you please. The essence is one unstructured, unborn. And the way of the yogi is like the path of a bird in the sky. How then can we suppose that phenomena actually exist? Inner and outer phenomena are both the one real condition, which is not an object to be grasped by the conceptual mind. The things of this world are mere names based in mistaken concepts, and so it is we fail to experience the equality of deep contemplation. The outer and inner spiritual commitments that we take up pertain to the constituents and senses of the body-mind, which has never been other than the true condition. Therefore, there is no benefit in talking about spiritual commitments. Appearances, symbols of the all-good, never change into something other than presence. Never being other than presence, appearances are therefore wisdom. In the absence of grasping, nothing has a self-identity. Absent rejecting, there is only the equality, that transcends speech. All possible circumstances and all beings in them arise non-dually from the pristine continuum. In the purity of divine presence, there are no such distinctions as male or female. In the domain of reality, there is no talk of getting somewhere by means of effort. And yet some say that by using the powers of sound, one can generate the bliss of a magical illusion. The true condition cannot be grasped conceptually, but appears in varied ways according to how one views it. To strive for bliss, desiring it to manifest, only generates obscurity and confusion. Meditating on the appearances of a deity is like meditating on the reflections of the moon in water. Although such meditators strive to be undefiled and unattached, their practices are like child's play. One may even identify fully with a wrathful deity in a mandala of wrathful attributes, and unmistakably manifest the seed syllable, and yet not experience the suchness in which concepts disappear. One may crop a palm tree or burn a seed to prevent them proliferating. And some teachers even advocate such a destructive approach for students who wish to overcome their emotional problems. Moreover, there are hundreds and even thousands of methods for practice, and they all blossom in their own way. But since pristine awareness is beyond characteristics, it is not revealed by practices such as these. Blessed are the yogis who abide continuously in the true condition, not discriminating between self and other. They enjoy the magical illusion while abiding in the great perfection. All phenomena are perfect and complete, nothing excluded. The true condition is equality beyond change, spaciousness without limit, beyond dependent arising, beyond causes and conditions. Incomparable wisdom alone knows the blissful continuum of self-perfection, the domain of the ultimately real, which does not arise from extraneous causes and conditions. This insight is easy, so easy in fact, that it seems difficult. Though all-pervading, the continuum is invisible. It cannot be pointed out by saying this is it, not even by Vajrasattva himself. This amazing, wonderful display of energy, spacious by nature, transcends action. From within our deep unknowingness, beyond thought and beyond thought and thinking, these dynamic potentials suddenly arise. The energetic radiance of consciousness dwells in all and is the way for all. For those lost in ignorance, confused by obscurations, it is like a medicine in search of a doctor to prescribe what is needed. From within the field of our understanding, bliss arises, revealing the ordinary world as pristinely pure. When lights from all directions come together in one's heart, one realizes omnipresent divinity above, below, and in all directions. From the colors of the rainbow, the primordial families and their qualities are manifest. Compounded moving parts and the uncompounded unmoving base, along with the deities of the 5 elements that animate creation. Notions like past, present, and future cannot comprehend the nature of the unborn, unceasing. In truth, nothing arises, nothing ceases. The wisdom of Source unifies all and dispels any such notions. Equal in all its manifestations, there is nothing to gradually arrange. All forms being one in reality, nothing needs to be dedicated in any direction. We may accumulate and arrange our various offerings, but since they occur naturally, they need no arranging or distribution. The true condition being intrinsically perfect, there is no need to make offerings. Pure from its inception, the pristine continuum is already wisdom nectar. There is no need for our minds or our senses to visualize or intend. All phenomena are already arrayed and consecrated by the mind's judgments. The spiritual power of clear seeing is the equipoise of contemplative stillness. Even an instant of this contemplation is divine union. The satisfaction of this union fulfills all spiritual commitments. Going through the dance steps of various spiritual practices, one is in reality offering the state of non-duality. Non-grasping is already the perfect offering beyond any need for practice. The consummation of all practices which is already present. Non-conceptual wisdom eliminates every obstruction. Contemplative equanimity is the perfect mantra. To honor spiritual teachers, practice generosity, and perform all manner of merit-making activities becomes a form of ignorance when performed in the absence of equality and non-attachment. The wisdom conveyed by this teaching gets obscured by active striving. When envisioned by conceptual grasping, the true condition cannot be realized. For the remainder of this afternoon's live stream, let us practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation not only are the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, but by practicing them authentically, they cause us to automatically and effortlessly master the remaining 6 folds of the path. Every time let's begin with mindfulness. Every time we inhale, we automatically access the middle bit of our spinal cord, whose fancy name is the sympathetic nervous system. It has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. All of them. From the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. In essence, the essence of mindfulness is to watch the antics of mind. Here's the rule of thumb. The most efficient way to do this, the most efficient way to watch the antics of mind, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, is to silently and mentally recite the verb watch every time we feel our chest swell with breath. What are we to do with all that we notice? That brings us to meditation. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we've evolved to automatically access the tippy top and the very bottom of that same spinal cord. These two regions, working as a team, be described as our parasympathetic nervous system. It has evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and even as non-graspable as a vast empty void. My 4th grade English teacher insisted that for a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. Therefore, we have to ask the question, what? What is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast, empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful, cloudless morn, which, although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand? The rule of thumb to efficiently rest in the aspect of mind that fleetingly feels non-graspable is to silently and mentally recite the verb rest every time we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale. Together, let us sit and breathe and watch and rest. The moment you have a specific question about the philosophy or technique of meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 5 minutes or so. In about 3.5 hours, I would very much like to return to today's evening lesson, followed by a group practice of meditating like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.